So, a couple podcasts ago, I know we're on like 3 now. Ain't that crazy? A couple, so 2, right? 2 podcasts ago, my first ever podcast, I talked about old gods. And I talked about old gods for most of that podcast. Now, this last Monday, which was the 30th of January, one of the clips from that podcast went out to the public. And it came to my attention that I made an error. That's right. Boys, girls, I have to admit it. I was wrong. I know. Crazy foreign concept. I know, I was wrong. Because in that podcast, in that clip, I said that Wrathion still had Xal'atath. That he had it after he had plunged the dagger into the carapace of Nzoth and had weakened him so that we could slay him. That was not the case. For it would be my boy, my homie, Banarak, otherwise known as Skull Shorties. We did a podcast together. He said in the comments, well, no, Wrathion lost the dagger in the cinematic, referring to the cinematic that, he plunged a dagger into him. That much was pretty clear when he looks down at his hand and it's gone. So that dagger, Xal'atath, is MIA at the moment. Also, come at me, Dave. Sibelian is fucking cool. No, he's not. Anyways. After reading this, I said, huh? What? How the fuck did I miss this? So, I did what any reasonable person would do. I went and I watched the cinematic because I had to be sure. Because for the life of me, I could not remember this being the case. I could not remember Wrathion losing Xal'atath. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was wrong. And you know what? We're going to watch this cinematic together as a group. We're going to all see how wrong I was. Okay? That's right. We're all going to see right now. You ready? I'm fucking ready. See that? It's gone. It's gone. He doesn't have it anymore. It's fucking gone. There's no dagger. It's gone. It's over. So, Skull was right. I was wrong. I have failed you. That being said, this, for me, this fucking scene raised an entire dilemma for me. Because if Wrathion doesn't have Xal'atath, where the fuck is Xal'atath? Where is she? We're going to bring up this question again. Where the fuck is she? Because in my first podcast, I said that, well, yeah, I mean, it could have been with this asshole. That was wrong. That is not the case. So where is it? Another thing, because this really got me thinking, right? Because if Xal'atath is not with Wrathion, right? If Xal'atath is nowhere to be found, it raises some questions. One is obviously, where the fuck is she? But another question, and I don't think a lot of people. This is probably the worst. I don't think a lot of people have really discussed this or talked about its possibility before. During ny'alotha, we go in, and like I said previously in other videos, we fight Wrathion at the very beginning of the encounter. It's not this Wrathion. It's a fake Wrathion, right? It's just a faceless being disguised as Wrathion. We kill him, then the real Wrathion shows up, and he's like, hey, just so you know, Nzoth manipulates everything you see in here. I wonder if I can find that little bit of that little bit of dialogue that he says. Let me see here. Yeah, he says, and I quote, I will pull it up for you right here. He says, ladies and gentlemen, champions, that vision was as much of me as it was for you. Nzoth wants us to believe that my corruption is inevitable. Wait, no, it's not that. Where the hell is it? It doesn't say it here. But look, that's it. That's the little thing right here. This is what the actual raid boss when you fight Wrathion turns into, right? I really thought it'd be in here. I guess not. Anyways, back to what I was saying. He does say this. He does say to basically not trust your eyes, right? He says, don't trust what you see because, well, I mean, you're in Nzoth's domain. He controls everything that you see. So then my question is, right, because if we go back a patch, we fight Azshara, right? And we basically all but kill Azshara, but right before she's about to die, Nzoth breaks free from his prison, completely, entirely, and he takes her away. Now, we don't know after that what happens to Azshara. In fact, all we know afterwards is that we go into ny'alotha and we find a Azshara being tormented or tortured. Let me see if I can find the boss that she is tortured by, because I do not remember. It's been a long time since I have ran ny'alotha. I did it like once back in the day. Yeah, she is a part of the Dark Inquisitor Zanesh boss fight. And here is good old Zanesh right there. Ooh, look at her. How scary. How spooky. Ooh, scary. Anyways, we kill her. Azshara breaks free, and she's like, hey, like, here's Xal'atath, by the way. Bye, see ya. You want to plunge that dagger into him. And then she leaves. Now my question is, because if we don't know where Xal'atath went, Xal'atath just vanished, disappeared. And I was thinking about this raid, and I thought about that encounter. I thought about when we got Xal'atath. Was Xal'atath, the one that Azshara gave us, was that even real? Better yet, is that Azshara real? You know what I mean? Because, yeah, sure, like we see Nzoth take Azshara during the Eternal Palace at the very end, right? And he says some weird cryptic shit. But after that, we don't know what the fuck happens to Azshara. It could very well be that he just kind of dumped her ass and then just had this illusion of Azshara. Same thing as what he did to Wrathion with this. Right? What if this was actually in it, like the Azshara we found was just some faceless, and the real Azshara is actually probably dead or somewhere else. I don't know if they would actually kill a character as important as Azshara off screen, but there's definitely a possibility. at least of the Azshara we find in Ny'alotha to not actually be Azshara, right? Because I'm gonna be fucking honest with y'all, right? Unless I am misremembering things properly, when we free Azshara, she just kind of gives Wrathion the dagger. She gives Wrathion Xal'atath. Maybe she got it from somewhere nearby. I don't fucking remember. I'm gonna run that raid after we're done here today. But she basically just gives him the dagger and she fucks off. Now where the fuck did she just have the dagger? That's kind of a plot hole because she was fucking imprisoned. Why does she just have Xal'atath on her at random? That's really fucking weird. Unless that Azshara wasn't real and it was all part of Nzoth's plan to get Wrathion to plunge that dagger into him so that Nzoth is transferred into the dagger. Or as a scapegoat to say, oh hey, look at that. Oh no, you use Xal'atath to weaken me. Now I'm gonna die. Oh no. But really, he's actually not gonna die, and it was all fake. I'm just saying, like, that could happen, right? But then again, like, Xal'atath has just vanished and appeared before, you know, because if you were a priest main, if you were a shadow priest, you used Xal'atath back during Legion, and you fought the Legion with her, and then you kind of just get rid of her and she vanishes. And then she shows back up in Stormsong Valley, and you help her basically be freed from the dagger. And then she just poofs. You know? I don't know. I thought that was like a very neat and interesting thing to kind of bring up. You know, the possibility that everything we actually saw within Ny'alotha was just bullshit. You know?